Respect for Gordon. The engines on the island of Sodor are always busy. Thomas puffs along his branch line with happy vacationers. And Gordon proudly pulls the express. Gordon thinks he's the fastest, strongest, shiniest, and cleanest engine in the whole railway. But one thing bothered him. His firebox rattled when cooling down at night. Gordon knew this would keep the other engines from getting any sleep. That night, Gordon's firebox went click, clunk, click, clunk. The other engines thought this was funny. "Rattler Gordon is keeping us all awake," peeped Percy.
"The only engines keeping other engines awake are silly little green engines with bad manners,"
huffed Gordon. But secretly, he was very embarrassed. The next morning, the other engines were still teasing him. "Rattler Gordon is awake at last!" cried Percy. Gordon ignored Percy. He did not like being called names.
"I'm the strongest and the best," he told himself. "Fastest and best, cleanest and shiniest, and I pull the express."
He wished the other engines would remember that. Later, Gordon pulled into Knapford Station. "Oh, look," laughed Emily. "It's Rattler Gordon, and he's pulling the Click-Clunk Express." Gordon was cross. He was even crosser when Diesel overheard.
"I hope your Click-Clunk gets better soon,"
wailed Diesel.
"See you later, Rattler."
Gordon was upset. He decided it was time that the other engines learned how to treat him properly. So later, he cut in front of James at the water tower. James was surprised. Then he bossed Percy around for being on his platform.
"Thanks for bringing my coaches, Percy. Now be off. Little engines shouldn't be dawdling about on my platform, you know."
"You're a bossy big blue boiler," muttered Percy. The next day, Gordon told the other engines to give him a polite toot-toot whenever they saw him. "But why?" asked Thomas. He was very puzzled.
"Because," puffed Gordon grandly, "I'm the strongest and the best."
And he chuffed proudly away. "You can toot-toot at him if you like," huffed Emily, "but I'm not going to." Gordon was pleased. He was sure the other engines would forget his click-clunk and treat him properly. Then he saw Emily. He listened for her to give him a polite toot-toot. But Emily didn't toot at all. This made Gordon very cross. He was so cross that he didn't see a signal telling him to stop. And he didn't see the goods train ahead until it was too late. Luckily, no one was hurt. But Gordon came off the rails and he was covered in gooey red jelly.
Oh!
As Gordon waited to be put back on the rails, Percy arrived. "Hello, Gordon," peeped Percy. "I see you're not the cleanest engine anymore." Then James puffed up. "I don't think you'll be pulling the express for a while, Gordon," laughed James. Finally, Thomas arrived. "Gordon's a mess, Gordon's a mess, he's the largest and jelliest," puffed Thomas cheekily. Finally, Gordon was back on the rails. He felt very foolish indeed. Edward pushed him to the fitter's yard. Gordon had to stay at the fitter's yard for a long time. It was hard to get the jelly out of his engine. Emily and Henry took turns pulling the express for him. One night at Tidmouth Sheds, Henry huffed. "It's hard work pulling the express." "Yes," agreed Emily. "Gordon must be so strong to pull the express so fast." "I miss Gordon," peeped Percy. "I miss having his rattle to go to sleep by." Gordon knew that the other engines were pulling the express for him.
Thank goodness for Emily and Henry,
He thought.
I'm sure they're doing a very good job.
Finally, Gordon was as good as new, and the workman even managed to fix the rattling in his firebox. That night, Gordon had something to say to the other engines. "We're sorry we teased you about your rattles," said Thomas.
Not at all,
Replied Gordon.
I know my rattle kept you awake at night, and I'm sorry. I was also silly about the toot-toots. I realize now that engines toot to each other because of the hard work they do, not because they deserve it.
"But we think you do deserve it, Gordon," said Thomas, "because you're the fastest engine on the island of Sodor." Gordon smiled with dignity. Now all the engines whistle to each other to appreciate the hard work they do on the island of Sodor.